Welcome to pattern making class. This is Annette Julie, and today we are working on developing princess seams for our jacket block draft. So we've made a copy of our front and back. This is our front with the side bust dart. This is our back. We eliminated the shoulder dart, and we added some ease to the front and back armholes. So we're going to develop a princess seam for our front. And we're going to get rid of this dart. So let's get rid of it. It's gone like that. And we're going to put the fullness here and take some off over there. Okay? We're also going to get rid of this dart. And we're going to put the fullness into the princess seam I'm going to develop for the armhole. So the dart that's closest to our center front, I have this upside down right now. Okay. I like to work like that. To work at all angles. So here's that dart that is closest to the center front. I'm going to start maybe about an inch below, and I'm going to curve a nice line with my hand into that armhole. Just sort of feeling what I want my shape to look like, resemble my design and sketch. Now, don't have this line be too curvy, like that's way too curvy. That's a little bit more challenging to sew. I'm going to have my line be a little bit more shallow there, and then that is easier for me to sew it. Fits a little bit better. There's my start of my princess seam for my front. I'm going to bring that top dart leg from the side bust dart all the way over to my princess seam. Okay. Now you can take that princess seam, which is the dart, and draw a line all the way to our hem. And we can see it starting to develop. From where the top dart leg here is on the side bust dart intersects, we're going to go up and down 2 inches. And we're going to put a set of notches. So we have a set of notches here, 2 inches above and 2 inches below. Where this line intersects, you need these notches. We're going to be dispersing some side bust ease. That looks like that's about 2 3/4, almost 3 inches from our armhole. So I want to make a notch down here, but I don't want it to be the same measurement. So I'm going to go up about 2 inches and have a notch that's going to join our seams. This is going to become our side princess seam. And this is our front princess seam. And this seam goes into the armhole. So we have a princess seam that goes into our armhole. Another version is one that goes into the shoulder, which we can see in another one of my videos. So here we have 3 notches, and this will not be a notch, okay? It's not going to be a notch. Let's go ahead now and cut out a bit of your armhole and side seam. So we're cutting out armhole. This is the front princess seam we're working on. We're going to cut out a bit of our side seam. And we can slash that dart leg all the way to the princess seam. And we can also slash down our princess seam to that extended dart leg. Grab some tape. This piece that came off, we have the dart here. Here's the princess seam. You need to close the dart. You need to completely get rid of that dart. So go ahead and tape that on there, eliminating the dart, but creating a little teeny bit of ease right here at the tip. So we, in essence, for fit, we have transferred this dart to this princess seam, and we do not have a dart anymore, and we'll end up cutting and separating the seam in a moment. But we have this extra 1/2 inch that you can put into this seam, or you can take off a 1/4 inch here and bring this out like 1/8 and 1/8, or you can just leave this alone, eliminate the dart, and just have it a looser fit. You could also turn this into a double princess seam. So let's try a simple solution where we bring this in 1/4 inch. We're going to blend this back up to our armhole, and we'll blend this back down to our hem. And this is an option. This is a fitting option if you want to keep this the exact same fit. If you want this to be looser, then just scribble that dart away and it doesn't exist. So this is a 1/2 inch wide. I brought this in 1/4. Come to the dart that you already have, which we're turning into a princess seam, and on both sides of that dart, come out 1/8 inch. Connect this back up to the top and down to the bottom of that dart positioning. Now let's go ahead and do a little bit of smoothing. As we turn this into a princess seam, I want you to extend that dart down and give it a nice smooth line. Also up here at the top, blend a curve. This is ready to be separated. Let's go ahead and continue to cut down our princess seam and cut out the dart pickup. You're cutting out along the most open lines at this point because we have adjusted the fit. Just because we haven't decided what to do with the hem yet, I'll bring that down. Now let's come and cut out the rest of that dart. Form a nice princess seam. And we have the notches on here to show us how to sew it back together. And here we have formed our front princess seam and side front princess seam. And we've taken out this dart and we close this side bust dart. Now we want to go ahead and draw on another grain line, parallel to my center front. I'm going to draw arrows going both directions. And this is going to be my front, jacket, princess, seam, draft. Quite often this would be a cut 2 in self fabric, and you would have your name and the date. This piece over here, this is our side front princess seam. We need to draw a grain line more in the middle on this one. Draw your arrows going both directions. And this is going to be our side front jacket princess seam draft cut to self fabric, and with your name and the date. We can see we have our notches right there. We'll put a little piece of paper right in there at the corner. And that's just a little 1/8 of an inch of ease. That you will disperse between that set of notches. And then after this, we would put seam allowance and hem allowance all over. This is Annette Jolie, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video where I make princess seams for the back of a jacket draft.